for the class. It should already be up. Since you're the only one here, well, we're going to continue on anyway. It's only an 8-week term. We can't afford to not do something one night. So the people that's not here will just have to worry about it on their own. So this is the Blackboard site. This is pretty standard Blackboard site. Start off with the home page and now course calendar we'll look at in just a second. First week quizzes and course information, assignments, course content, handout, recorded lectures, which I'm doing now. So we record almost all the lectures in this class, or try to. Email. Let me turn this off so this will be what y'all see. So you can use this link to send me email. If you send me email about the class, I'm going to make sure you send it from here, okay? Or you can email one of the students in the class. This is where our test reviews will be, the previous tests and tests. You've been in my class before, so you know how that works. So what we're going to look at is the first week. This is where the first week quizzes are located, but let's go ahead and look at the syllabus. You've got the brief right there, which basically we put things that's going to change and give you a sheet of paper that you can carry with you if you need to go to the bookstore. Because we don't print the syllabus off anymore because of the amount of paper it would take. Here's my contact information, which you sure already know. Here's Mr. Sanders. He'll be the alternate contact if you get in touch with me. What you require for the class, there's no book required in the class. You need to have a category 3 digital multimedia. Most of us already have. Take the classes with side shields, the scientific calculator, you need a thumb drive, desktop or no top computer with internet access, which you don't have to bring here, that's just at home. And then the standard school supplies. You're okay on the first week quizzes and agreements, right? So what's due before the next class? Your syllabus agreement, right? And the assignment 1 is that since we're only having one class this week, assignment 1 will be due next Friday. Yeah, next Friday. Yeah, assignment 1. Now the syllabus agreement will be due next Wednesday. Monday's a holiday, so Monday's Memorial Day. So the next class, before the next class meeting, is when the syllabus agreement's due. And then, of course, then we have the actual syllabus itself. So the name of the course is ILT 195 or ILT 208, whichever one you're enrolled in. I think everybody this time enrolled in 208. Course description, systematically solving problems in an automated system. Emphasis is played on safety, test equipment, basic troubleshooting techniques, and hands-on problem solving. Upon completion, students should be able to systematically use a systematic process to solve malfunction. So this is basically all the stuff that we're going to be doing this semester. You can read that just as good as I can. Here's our breakdown of what the things we're going to be doing that's going to count toward your grade. 2% of your grade is just completing your online quizzes and agreements. There'll be 3 tests given during the term. That's going to be 25% of your grade, and that's not including the final exam. That's assignments and homework are 13% of your grade. The lab is going to be 35% of your grade. Having your required supplies is 5% of your grade, and the final exam counts 20% of your grade. You probably already know that we give 3 tests during the term. It's already on the calendar. We don't give makeup tests, but what we do is we are going to it automatically drops your lowest test score if you have to be absent. First week agreements and syllabus, we already know about that. Assignments, those due dates will be posted in the college calendar or be given out verbally. You don't turn them in by their due dates and you're going to lose. Their assignments are worth 50 points, so what you do is you lose 10 points for every day, not class day, because most of these are done online, that it's past due. Your grade average, you know it takes at least a C to pass the class, right? Recorded lectures, we're going to record lectures using something called Screencast-O-Matic. And then instead of me putting them in Blackboard, I'm going to give you a link. They're actually up on YouTube. And instead, what I'm going to do that for, I'll give you the link to the video. That way you can watch it full screen. If I put it on the Blackboard, it only comes in. It won't allow you to do full screen. So there'll be a link that'll take you up to YouTube to watch the recorded videos. Of course, all classes start at the scheduled times. Students are expected to arrive and prepare themselves for class before the class begins. Of course, you're the only one here. The rest of the stuff you can look at. This has changed. This has changed from the last syllabus. This is updated Americans with Disabilities Act. It basically says that if you got a documented disability, you're supposed to contact Mr. Renee Herndon on this campus, or Miss Janice Malone on the other campus, McCoy, I'm sorry. And with your paperwork, and then you go in and then establish what type of special needs you have to be able to succeed in the course. So what this says is that I can't make special arrangements with you personally without making it for the whole class. So if you got some type of disability, documented disability that you need special arrangements made, then you need to contact either Miss Renee Herndon or Janine McCoy. This tells you where the ADA offices are located. Of course, cell phones and pagers, you make sure you put them on the quiet mode, right? Statement of discrimination and harassment. We don't discriminate or harass people in this class. And then notes. Another problem we have that make sure if you arrive late or leave early, you're supposed to let me know, right? And then I don't allow profanity in my classroom. So that's pretty much the course syllabus. Briefly, of course, you're required to read the course syllabus, so that's one reason we don't go over it on class. And of course, where it's located on Blackboard, inside course information, inside the syllabus, right? And the brief and the syllabus are basically considered to be one document. It's just that we don't modify the syllabus every semester. All we have to do is modify the brief. And then we give out the brief in class, which tells you the basic information you need to know to carry to the bookstore. Course calendar. This course, even though the summer semester is a 10-week course, we meet our classes in 8 weeks. Now, but we're going to have a little shake-up, which originally we were scheduled to end the class on July the 20th. But something's came up where we're going to have to attend some training on June the 20th through the 22nd. What that means is it's going to affect one class. So that means on the 22nd, this class will not meet. And what we're going to do is we're extending the end for the period until, so this class will actually end on the 24th of July. Well, not on syllabus. The semester lasts. Okay. Now what they do is they do mini terms in the summer, but a mini term is 5 weeks. So that means if we tried to do this class in a 5-week term, what would happen is that we would be meeting 7 hours of class. Okay. And we can't do that. So, but if we meet it over the entire semester, we would have to change the course layout because it's designed for 8 weeks. So what they do is they let us teach our courses in 8 weeks. Now, if you're in an English course or something like that, then it's going to meet the entire 10 weeks of the summer semester. But ours meet 8 weeks. It's just it's 8 weeks, but we're going to have to move it one class up to compensate for me being gone during this right here. Mr. Sanders is gonna be gone too if you're in any of his classes. But he'll show you the college calendar and he'll show you.
I know we're going to do one more class on the 4th of July.
Yeah, but we compensated for that. Normally what we do in an 8-week term is we get 15 classes. So that's what we did. We counted off 15 classes, including the final exam. So that means even though we're not losing a class, we just won't be here. It's just that we still have 15 classes. Does that make sense? Yeah, so in this class, we're going to miss out on Memorial Day, which is next week. Okay? But on Tuesday, Thursday, on the sensors classes, are you in the sensors class too? Are you taking the sensors class?
No.
Okay. We'll miss the 4th of July in that class. So both classes are going to have a holiday in the 8 weeks, but it's still going to be 15 classes. That makes sense. So we still get 15 classes. It's just instead of ending on the 20th, we're going to end on the 24th. Okay, you okay? Okay, the only other thing, so our first test is going to be on June the 12th. And this is in the course calendar. And then our second test is going to be on July the 3rd. And then our third test is going to be on July the 19th. And then the final exam will be on the 24th. So that's the test schedule. And right now we got 2 assignments that are due. Assignment 1 is due on the 9th. I'm sorry. Assignment 1 is due on the 2nd of June, and assignment 2 is due on the 9th of June. Are you okay? Okay. So that's the course calendar so far without additional assignments or anything like that. That's just what we know that's due. Okay. Are you okay? Now notice on the description of the course, this course includes safety. It also includes system troubleshooting, which we're going to troubleshoot on these systems over here. So this class is relatively small. We have 8 people enrolled in it. And of course, 1 out of 8 is not really good. And I was
taking this morning, yesterday
yeah. Of course, I think it's got 7 because Joey's still on the road. So he hadn't dropped the class yet. Or he hadn't been dropped from the class yet. So that's pretty much for the Blackboard site. And like I said, my Blackboard sites are basically laid out all the same. So it should be pretty familiar. Course content. This don't have the safety lecture. Yeah, so here's safety. So this is the first lecture that we're going to look at tonight. And then we have a quiz that'll be due on this. This is the lab procedures for the class. We'll look at this and make sure we understand what's going on here. Safety glasses must be worn in the vicinity of the manufacturing lines. So anytime we're over there with the lines, then you'll have to have your safety glasses on. Short pants and open-toed shoes are not allowed in the lab. So this will probably be the last night you'll be able to wear your shorts in. Synthetic clothing is not allowed when working on the manufacturing line. So you can't wear it. You need to wear cotton. Right? Okay, don't wear any. Yeah. Yeah. When working with more than 240 volts, leather gloves must be worn when making energized circuit measurements. We're not going to be working with 240 volts, so that'll be okay. Lockout tagout rules and procedures must be followed, so we're going to learn about lockout tagout in this class. Do not make any connections or circuit modifications while circuit is energized. Make sure you lock out and tag out. All power must be removed. All power sources, I need to put that, must be removed from the module when awaiting an instructor sign off or help. We have two power sources on our modules. We have pneumatic power and we also have electrical power. So we'll show you how to lock those out. No eating or dip bottles in the classroom. No beverage allowed on or near the manufacturing line. So we don't have food in the lab or in the classroom, but we do let you bring water and drinks and stuff like that, just as long as you throw your cans and stuff away. No chairs allowed at the manufacturing line. Disability exceptions may be possible. So I'm sure that covers me, so I can. Not following procedures will deduct from the gravel. What we're going to do is we're going to perform the experiments in groups of 3 students. Okay. And we'll have to wait and see how many we have. When you work on your lab forms, all your forms need to be entered in pencil. Okay. You've taken my classes before with lab forms and stuff like that. So we'll have lab forms for the class. We'll have maintenance forms for the class when we troubleshoot. You need to fill in the required information and make sure you write your name on the title page of the lab. And the lab forms and the maintenance forms don't leave the classroom. You can take the labs with you, but don't take the lab forms with you because that's your official grade. We'll have to wait and see when a team needs a lab instructor check or help. The team leader must write his or her name on the sign-off sheet located on the podium in front of the classroom or lab. I think we're going to put it on that table over there, though. Then you place a check mark indicating if your team needs help or are you ready for a actual sign-off. Makes sense. And I'll check off labs according to how answer questions, how y'all put y'all's name on the sign-off sheet. Well, that's the way it worked in motor controls. What we're going to do is the way the labs are set up and they're supposed to is you're supposed to teach. One of the students is going to be the team leader, and then what's going to happen every time you move to a different station, you're going to swap positions. That makes sense. So everybody will have a chance of being the team leader. Kind of like in motor controls, almost exactly the same. Teams will make presentations to the class. So here you're going to have to actually make presentations to the class as far as what you found out, how you figured it out, what approach you went out when you're doing your troubleshooting. So y'all be making presentations to the class. And that's why we got all the whiteboards in here, by the way. So basically each team gets their own whiteboard. And when we break the line apart, you'll move your whiteboard with you. All circuits must be checked for short circuits. That's not supposed to be in there. So that's okay. So I'll have to wait. The student must perform basic safety checks on each troubleshooting lab that requires part installation or rewiring. Once the check is made, the module can be energized and checked for proper operation. Once your team is confident that the module is working as prescribed, each lab instructor have the lab instructor check the module's operation. Initial experiment pages, lab grade forms, and maintenance forms are required. Before the lab is checked off, questions will be asked by the instructor to determine if your team members understand the module's operation. Experiments that are not checked by the instructor will have to be redone in order to get partial credit. That makes sense? So you're going to have 3 in a team if everything works out okay. We might have to split that up a little bit because I think we got 7. So we might have to do 2, 2, and 3. Depends on how many people actually show up for the class. And if your partner don't show up, or a partner don't show up, you do the lab, and then the people that don't show up just mess out on it and don't get the points. Because we don't have any makeup in this class, right? Each team member must complete a lab form for each experiment, only one maintenance form per team. So that's going to be a little different. So everybody does a lab form for your grade, but when we work on problems, there'll be one maintenance form per team. They're not supposed to leave the lab form. The questions at each of the experiments are not a team effort. I'm not sure in this class if we have questions set up. I'll have to go back and look at that too. Once you complete an experiment, staple the lab grade form in the upper left-hand corner of the front of the experiment pages and place it in the box label. Oops, that's wrong. It's not supposed to be motor controls. It's supposed to be AUT 208. Labs to be graded. And it'll be located on the bench. It says in the front of the classroom, but it'll be at the bench. Probably on this bench over here that we keep set up. Don't forget to write your name in the space provided on the lab grade form. Also make sure to write your name at the top of the experiment page, right? And then it says include the front of the experiment page, but I don't think you have any problem. I don't think you have any options in this class. Complete experiments must be turned in and written questions answered before beginning the next class. I don't think we have. This is a fairly new class. This is only the second time we've taught this class, and the first one was really new. I'm not really sure if there's lab questions or not. I'll have to go back and check that. And I know there's not chapter quizzes, so I'm gonna have to go back and rewrite this a little bit. The lab form, the lab grade form is the next page. See how that works? It's pretty close to the ones that we used in motor controls, except what you're going to do is you're going to assign a group leader, right? You see that? And then your partner names are going to be up in the top. And then the lab title. And then you'll keep up with your hours, right? And then I'll do the grading and mark offs in the next little section. And then the last part of it shows you the points that will be deducted for different things. Are you okay? Okay. Any questions on the lab seat? And I'll have to go back and make a few corrections on that. This was copied from motor controls, and there's a little difference going to be in this class. So you can go ahead and take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and start our safety lecture.